My name is Susanne Töpfer. I'm a curator at the Museo Egizio in Turin, and I'm responsible for the papyrus collection. But today I don't want to talk about papyri in the collection. I would like to talk about the personality of Petamenofi II and his family. Petamenofi was a member of a rather well-known family during the time of Hadrian, Trajan, so in the end of the 1st, beginning of the 2nd century. We know this family well because in the beginning of the 19th century, a tomb was found in Egypt, concrete in Thebes, which is on the western side of Luxor. And within this tomb, there were found many coffins, mummies, and with several grave goods. The artifacts which were found in the tomb at the beginning of the 19th century are now distributed between the collection of the Museo Egizio in Turin, the Egyptian Museum in Leiden, the Egyptian Museum in Berlin, as well as the Louvre and the British Museum. The artifacts are mainly coffins, but also the mummies, and written on the coffins and on decoration of the mummies, as well as funerary papyri, we have the names and titles of the family member. This is how we can make the connections between the individuals. The tomb in which Petamenofi and the members of the family were found was actually not built for the family. It was built rather early. It was built in the New Kingdom under the time of Ramses II. And the tomb was actually built for or by Geroglifica and his wife Arsid. And in our museum, we also have the sarcophagus of Geroglifica and Arsid. And it is a rather common practice in the Roman period that in Thebes, that big tombs or bigger impressive tombs, monumental tombs, were reused by the elite because it's a kind of a prestige, but it's also connected with religious beliefs at the time. Petamenofi was embalmed in a technique which is rather typical for the Roman period. So the way that they crossed the very thin, small mummy bandages in order to create this kind of a router or cassette pattern is the typical way in a Roman, also late Greco-Roman period. The coffin of Petamenofi is a rather simple wooden coffin, and on the lid there's just one hieroglyphic description in the center of the lid. And the hieroglyphic description is a kind of a funerary content. So it talks about the name, is giving the name of Petamenofi and his mother, but it's also about the protection a little bit of the mummy. On the bottom of the coffin, there's a depiction of Nod. So it's actually not Petamenofi, because many people think that this is a depiction of Petamenofi. It's actually not Petamenofi. It's a depiction of the sky goddess Nod. And actually her name is written in one hieroglyphic sign on top of her head. And if you see really detailed, that you can see this is the depiction of a woman. And the two figures on the left and right sides are the depiction of Isis and Nephthys, the sister and wife of Osiris, which is the god of the underworld. And also the depiction of Nod is a depiction in a very classical form. You can find this depiction also on pharaonic coffins, but in a different tradition, so the topology is a little bit different. The Greek epitaph or inscription on the side of the coffin gives us the exact information about whose mummy this is, but also when Petamenofi died. So it is written there, this is the coffin of Petamenofi, who was the son of Pebos. He was born in year 3 of Hadrian, and he died in year 7 of Hadrian, so that he lived for 4 years, 8 months, and 10 days. And then you have the greetings, farewell. And actually we can reconstruct quite exactly the dates which I indicated, which means he was born on the 20th December 119 and he died on the 27th of August in 123, rather young. 2 papyri were found within the coffin, and the 2 papyri bear a text composition which we call the Book of Breathings, which actually is an authentic title. This means that the texts written on the papyri are supposed to open the mouth in a way and open the eyes and give the possibility to Petamenophis to breathe but also to eat in the afterlife. And also part of the papyri are spells which are about the protection of Petamenophis, in a way like the Book of the Dead. They're giving guidance through the afterlife. And actually we have 2 of them written in a very nicely Roman hieratic handwriting.